Everybody, it's Joy. How are you doing today? I am back with another project for Joy Clair Designs. I am using one of my favorite stamp sets, I should say newly favorite stamp sets, called Sweet Friends. And I'm going to be using some of my favorite Copic blends to color these images, and also I'm going to have a fun Distress Oxide background for you. But while I'm coloring up here, I've got the colors showing up on the screen so I can talk to you a little bit. I know that sometimes people are afraid to use digital stamps, but I'm going to tell you it's very easy. You can print them out onto any medium that you want as far as cardstock goes, and you can color them with most any medium. I use Photoshop Adobe Elements to size mine. However, I have used free software such as Word Document to do it. I've also used the Silhouette Cameo software, which I believe is free whether you have a Cameo or not. So they're very easy and attainable to use. So a little bit about this stamp set. It comes with 3 images. One is a bird and a swing, and the other one is this chocolate bar, and then 3 sentiments that are perfect for friendship sentiments. I chose to use the chocolate bar because I happen to be a chocoholic. Like, the word love is spelled chocolate for me. Anyway, I printed this out 5 times, and I made it so that they were about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches big, so that I could fit them onto a Slimline card. I like my Slimlines to be 3.5 by 8.5 as a finished product, just so that you kind of have a reference. But anything that'll fit into an A10 or business size envelope will work for most people. Anyway, my favorite chocolate combination for Copic coloring is using E34, 35, 57, and 79. And I start out by wetting the paper with the 3-4. And then I go in with my 7-9 and I mark out where I think my shadows are going to be. Now with this image, it's kind of nice because the artist put in some hash marks delineating where some of those shadows would be. So I put in my 79, and then I blended that out with the 57. And then from there, I used my 35 to get a good blend. And I go back between the colors until I get the chocolate looking exactly the way I like it, which that could be a process. Then I repeated that for the other 4 pieces of the chocolate bars. But I didn't leave that coloring it. Then from there, I started with my rainbow colors. And my favorite red combination is an R59, 29, 46, and 24. So just like the chocolate, I started with the R24, and I just wet the paper. And then I went in with my Scary Dark, which is the R59, and I marked where the shadows are. So where you see the fold of the paper being bent back, that'll be the darkest spot, which would be the 59. And then I outlined some of the areas, again, that the artist had drawn in the hash marks so that I would know where those were. And then this isn't typical, but I went in with another Scary Dark, which would be the 2-9. And the difference between the 2-9 and the 5-9 is the saturation of red. You'll see that the 59 is much darker than the 29, and that's because the 29 is more of a vibrant, I want to say a fire engine red, which I like. And then I blended out that bottom portion with the entire 4-6. That way the bottom part of the chocolate bar would be the darkest, and then I used a little bit of the 46 and the 24 on the top. Now you're going to see I did the exact same thing with the yellows using, with the orange, excuse me. And a thing that I like about oranges, I like to make them pop by using a yellow first. So I started out with the Y19. I'm supposed to be saying 19, but I'm just used to saying 19. Anyway, to map out the colors. And then I repeated the process like I did in the red, and used the YR09 to map out the shadows. Blended it with the 7, and I did the entire portion with the 07. And then on the top portion, I used the 07 and blended it out with the 04. And it just, with having that Y19 underneath it, it really made the orange pop and gave it a vibrancy. That's what I like about Copics, is that they are translucent colors. So you can layer the colors to get any combination that you want to make them pop. So now you're going to see the yellow combination. And that one, I started out with the Y13, went in with the Y19 in the same order as I did with the red and the orange. Colored the entire bottom in with the with the Y15, and then I finished it off again with the Y13. Now, I was not 100% sold on the blend with the Y19 being the darkest. And a trick with yellows, if you want a nice gold color, you add a little bit of an E. So I came in with an E23, and I outlined that bottom fold just to make that pop. And you're going to see a nice contrast when I come in with that. And that's just a really good trick with yellows or golds. When I do a gold blend, I usually add a few other colors with it, but this is just a perfect yellow blend. Then I go in with my greens, and I chose a color combination that I normally don't use. I usually like the YGs, but I went with a true green for this because I was making the rainbow. And I started out with the G03. Then I went in with the YG09, put those shadows in, blended with the 07. And I can't remember, I think I might have cut it out, but I think that I went in with an 05 just to get a little bit better blend. But you wouldn't have to do that. I really think that the 03, 07, and 09 combination works nicely, but you know, that's of course always up to you what you like. Really, I mean, when you put this on the background, all you're going to see is chocolate goodness and say, I am hungry. So it doesn't matter where you are with that. Anyhow, then my final combination were the blues. And I, again, chose colors that I normally don't use because I wanted a vibrant blue. So I started out with my lightest color being B23. Then I brought in that scary dark, where the shadows are, like, just, I'm repeating the process 100 times. So I brought in the 2.9 after that. Then I brought in the 2.8, which I colored the 2.9 and the 2.8 on the bottom half. And then I used the 2.8 and 2.6 and 2.3 for the upper wrapper, just to get a good blend. And I went back and forth working those colors until I thought I had the perfect blend. You could tell me what you think, but I was happy with that. I left out the purple blends just because I thought I was going to run out of room on my card. And I'll be honest, I did. So I'm glad I didn't print out a sixth one or bring in the purple. But I feel like violet gets left out a lot. You tell me what you think. But that's my story, and I'm kind of sticking to it. Anyway, I'm going to finish up the coloring. And then I will trim down this panel just so it'll fit in my scan and cut. I am not a fuzzy cutter by nature, so if I can get by with it, I will have the scan and cut that out. So I spray some pixie spray on the back of it, just so that I can make it stick to my mat better, and then I actually tape it down to my mat, run it through, cut it out, and then I'm good to go. And then of course I brought in my favorite, or I should say my second favorite medium, which would be the Distress Oxides. And I blended those with just some dome foam blending pads in the colors of Candy Apple, Carved Pumpkin, Squeezed Lemonade, Mowed Lawn, and Prize Ribbon. And I really love this blend. I did go back and forth twice just to get I guess, a better blend than normal. But I think it turned out nice. I really love the way the candy apple and the orange came together. And then my sentiment also comes from the Sweet Friends stamp set from Joy Clair. And I die cut that with an art impression stitched rectangle die just so that I would have it. And now I did decide to put that on on a Slimline card base, which measures 3.5 by 8.5. So when I first cut it, it's 7 by 8.5, and I score it at the 3.5 mark using my score buddy or score pal. And I use that on heavy cardstock. I use Accent Opeg 120-pound cardstock just because I like a really firm card. And then you'll see that I matted the rainbow panel with just black cardstock. You could use anything that you want. And then I'm gluing that down with Barely Art Glue. You're probably going to ask me what tip that is. I went on Amazon and I found an 18 gauge blunt needle to put on the end of that because I find that the tip of the Barely Art Glue always gets clogged. So I just chose to do that. Now you're going to see me kind of fiddling with this arrangement quite a few times. It's actually kind of tedious to watch. I don't really know why I struggled so much. I mean, because I went with the exact same thought process from the very beginning. You'll see that I did pop this up on square foam before adhering it down. And all I did was put the opposite colors of the rainbow. So you'll see that I started with the blue at the top for the inked background, and I used the red candy bar, and I went in reverse order, which I think makes the candy bars pop a little bit more. If we had to put red on red, I would have had to use a lot of saturation with my Copics, and I just made it be an easier blend. So now you're going to see that I'm placing down some sequins. I buy most of my sequins from HAI Supply. They do have a retail store. And these are just flat-backed sequins that are iridescent, so they pick up pretty much any color that you put them down on. And I just put those down with my Barely Art Glue and also with my Maker Forte craft wand. I love this wand because it's got a pokey tool and the wax tip on each end, which just makes placing gems almost seamless. So as I finish that up, I just want to mention I would really love it if you like this video, that you give me a like and maybe consider subscribing. I am a new channel and I'm looking to grow, and that would just mean a whole lot to me. You know, and then if you'll check out the Joy Clair Designs store, if you want to use my code, which is all caps Joy Wilson, you'll get 5% off of your order as long as there are no other promotions going on. So you might want to check out that out the store, and then I will leave that linked in the description box below. And then at the very end here, once I've got the card constructed, you're going to see me come in with a white gel pen. I just like adding a little bit of gel pen. I just add a little bit of highlights and some interest to it. I don't know that it's necessary on this card, but it's just kind of a habit of mine. But I think it always adds a nice touch. Let me know if you think gel pens add nice touches or not, or if you use them. I would love to know. But I really do appreciate you watching, and if you wouldn't mind, again, if you would like and subscribe. Thanks, and have a great day.